Ranting, reflecting, reasoning, reckoning. The Huddle.
It is 5:45 this evening's Huddle. Cameron Slater and Josie Pagani, and a very good evening to you both.
Hello.
Good evening.
Now, I want to start with a quick and very simple question to each of you. I tried it with Michelle Bogue a whole lot of different ways, and she simply wouldn't answer it. Josie, you get some emails from someone, I don't care who it's from, a government agency, someone you don't know, it's clearly confidential, it's not meant for you. What do you do? Do you hold on to it, or do you send it back?
You send it back, Susan. And also, if people put money in my account, I would give the money back too, because you asked that question.
Very good. Cameron Slater, can I get your response, please?
100% you give it back and you say that you've got this in error.
And you do it straight away, don't you?
Look, this is the thing, Susan. I listened to your interview with Michelle Bogue, and all I'm hearing from every National Party person involved in this, including Judith Collins, is they're worried about their reputations and they're worried about being defamed. But the big issue here, and I think what this decision has given us today, is that it's put the spotlight away from this stupid police case on Bronwyn Puller, back onto the real issue, which is how on earth did nearly 7,000, the details of nearly 7,000 clients leak in the first place. And
it's easy. That's an easy question.
Well, it's our biggest privacy breach in our entire history.
So hang on a second there, Josie. Just get this into perspective. The Privacy Commissioner Office released last week, I think it was last week, a report that said the talk of this being the biggest privacy breach out there is actually scaremongering. The details that were released...
Oh my God, there are bigger ones?
No. Did you read the report? Because I did. And what it said is that the details contained in that report were nothing more than what's basically contained in a phone book, names and addresses and some telephone numbers with a flag on some of them that had a Y or an N.
But that's right. But if it's your name, if it's your name out there, you don't want everybody knowing that you've got an ACC case in for rape.
But the way that this story was spun in the Dominion Post with the files that were given by Bronwyn Puller to the journalist Phil Kitchen was that this was all of the details about all of their claims, and that is not true. And there's thousands of people out there who were frightened, who were scared by the news reports. And if there's any apologising that needs to be done, it's to the people who gave those files to the journalists.
All right, we'll take a break there. Cameron Slater, Josie Pagani back. We're going to talk about the Greens next. It's 12:46. NewstalkZB, it's coming up 5:10 this evening's Huddle. Cameron Slater, Josie Pagani. Cameron, you might choke when I say this, but I was watching Russell Norman on the news last night after the Greens get-together over the weekend, and I thought, that man looks like a leader. He looks good.
He does look good. He's very well practiced. The Greens have got a strategy, which is something that Labor doesn't seem to have, and they keep putting Russell Norman up in question time in the House and in public, and he sounds reasonable. He sounds like he's got the goods. He says sentences and completes his thought processes without a stutter or any sort of, tripping over or falling down. He does sound like a leader, and the Greens are manufacturing the appearance of leadership very, very well.
You think it's manufactured, Josie?
Some people are calling it that the Greens are transforming themselves from sandals to suits, but I actually think it's more of a suits and sandals, which we all know is a terrible fashion faux pas, but probably makes political sense.
They could be short-sleeve suits too.
Walk shorts and cell phones.
Oh dear, and long socks.
I think the big challenge they've got, Susan, is that you heard Materia Ture, who gave this very boldly left-wing speech attacking John Key and Paula Bennett for welfare cuts. On the other side, you've got Russell Norman, who seemed to be saying, well, actually, we're not against all mining, so, drill, baby, drill. So I think there's going to be the classic problem for all small parties that go into government here, is that there's an instinct to kind of be hard on your principles and go hard and stick to your principles. On the other side, you've got to compromise to be in government. And that the thing about the Greens, they've just celebrated 40 years. It's a great milestone. Not a single year of that has been in government yet. So
absolutely.
It's easy to be pure when you're not in government.
And Cameron, what's the point of sticking to your principles if you don't have any power? You might as well do something as opposed to nothing.
They're quietly sneaking up on Labor, and it takes only 5% to swap across, and Labor's in real trouble.
Can you see that happen?
Labor will be very pleased with this. This is 13%. The Greens are on the polls last night, plus Labor. Labor and Greens are looking like they can form the next government.
Josie, won't Labor be looking over their shoulders?
Pardon?
Josie, won't Labor be looking over their shoulders at the Greens? And I mean, if they get too powerful, Labor's got a problem.
That's right. They don't want them to be 20%, but 13% is perfect. They need them to be 10% or more, and anything more than, you wouldn't want them to be 20% of your Labor, but 13%, it's looking like a very comfortable coalition partner.
When they were at 7%, Josie, Claire Curran wrote a big blog post on Red Alert about them stealing their votes.
Yes, that's right.
I can't wait till the one she's going to do next.
That was a mistake.
She's made a couple, hasn't she? But we all do that, I guess.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't made too many.
Oh, Cameron, we won't even start with how many mistakes you've made.
You see, here's the problem, Susan. You've got the Greens haven't actually got any enemies at the moment because even Cam's talking them up. And so what you've got is National
That's
want
frightening.
to look good because it looks bad for Labor. Labor want them to look good because they want to go into coalition with them. So it's a pretty easy ride for the Greens.
I had a discussion last year with Russell Norman just after the election. I said, look, Russell, the problem you've got is that I should be a Green.
Oh, enough, Cameron. We've got to go. Cameron Slater, Josie Pagani, great to talk to you both. 8746. We'll talk to Murray Deakin next.